What's up guys, how y'all doing? Cosmic Carry here, rolling out in my M46 Patton Korea Tier 8 American medium tank, which I kind of semi-reviewed and a couple of uploads ago, I think it was, and I noted the fact that it was a very, very unremarkable tank, a very mediocre, a very, not potato tank, not a bad tank, not a terrible tank, but very unremarkable, mediocre, nothing fantastic, very typical American medium tank, you know. And today we're going to be on Duckler Pass, and we're going to be in a tier 10 match. So I'm going to have to pull out every single trick I have in the bag in order to get something decent out of this game. I'm going to have to put all my knowledge, you know, to the test. All my I'm going to have to rely on my team. I'm going to have to just pull out every single trick, every single thing I know, everything, anything, everything, and the kitchen sink and the bathroom sink, and I'm gonna have to throw everything I can at the Reds in order to get something out of this game, because I'm in a very, very unremarkable tank, you know. The M46 Patton Korea has okay penetration for a tier 8 premium tank, but it's not good enough if you're in a tier 10 match, and that is why I'm going to be liberally using my premium shells. And I say liberally, there's spamming premium shells where you just use premium shells non-stop, which is what I'll be doing in this game, you know. I'm not going to lie here, but I won't be knocking out 10 premium shells and only spamming, only penetrating 1 or 2, you know, because to me that's premium shell spamming. Well, what I'm doing is I'm actually penetrating, you know, I'm actually penetrating. And keep in mind, I am bottom tier, you know, and that's what if there was a reason for premium shells, it's for when you're bottom tier. Especially when you're bottom tier in a tier 10 match, in a tier 8 machine, you know, in an average tier 8 machine. This spot here I use all the time, you know. But the MX50 120 is going to spoil my little party here, my little shenanigans, so he needs to go 100%. Luckily he gets reduced to 1 shot, and I take him out no problemo with my preview shelf, which I did not need on the MX50 120. But now what I'm going to be repeatedly doing is simply rolling up here as soon as I lose my 6th sense, auto aiming, and getting a quick pen, getting a quick pen. And these are some badass tanks, you know. I'm not going to be risking my hit points, as you can see. I'm not going to be rolling up here unless I lose my 6th sense, you know. But the Reds could be pre-aiming. They could have figured out what I'm up to, and they could be pre-aiming and blasting me into oblivion non-stop. But as you can see, you know, nobody's doing that, and I'm kind of getting away with it. I'm penning every single shot. Granted, it is they're kind of focused on my teammates here to my left. And speaking of my teammates to my left, one thing, this is kind of cool what I'm doing. Yeah, absolutely. You know, I'm not losing any hit points. I'm getting some nice bends, all of that jazz. But eventually, this this flank here is gonna be either won or it's gonna be lost. You know, one or the other. Somebody's got to win the flank. You can't just keep going on forever stalemate. Eventually, somebody's gonna win. And in my opinion, around this point, I said to myself, my teammates to my left, they're very campy. They're very hull downy. They're playing the defensive game, and the Reds here on this flank, on the 9-0 flank, the ones that I'm lighting up, there's a lot of them, and they're being very, very aggressive. And there's a lot of badass tanks out there. You know, there's the Death Star, Jaegeru, Chieftain. Well, yeah. Come on. Yeah. See, I'm still penning. This is where you lose money, when you don't pen. That's when you lose money using premium shells. But yeah, you can see they're being very aggressive. They're pushing, and I was saying, okay, it's time to get the hell out of Dodge. And yes, indeed, I did just take out a Jaegeru in my mediocre premium. Yes, I did. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the magic of the premium shell. Oh, well, I mean, what the hey? I mean, you know, it's his fault. He exposed his side, I'm guessing. Finally, I decide to retreat. Finally, I decide, okay, it's time to get the hell out of Dodge. A pretty decent sacrifice for the amount of time I spent in that position. I do lose 50% of my hit points, so I do kind of sort of get away with it. A pretty decent trade, 6 pens, 2 very decent kills, and but the game is not over yet. You know, the game is still being contested. It's only 7-6. It's still all up in the air. It's still up for grabs. You know, that push that I was just on, that 9-0 line, the tanks there are being hyper aggressive, very smart, you know, and they're going to be pushing through. And so I decide, can I possibly maybe flank them from the rear, or maybe flank the guys up in the north. We're developing a somewhat comfortable lead, 9-7. Is that a good lead? But it's, like I said, it's still all up in the air. Side of a T28, absolutely, 100%, no problema. But at the same time, I am lit up. There is a heavy behind me. Can I get it a second time? No, but that's not going to work. Again, E75, and this is what I'm talking about, you know. I'm not even considering, you know, switch to normal shells. It's not the way I think. You know, I don't mind using my premium shells as long as I'm not spamming the hell out of them, as long as I'm not, you know, as long as if this was a tier 8 match and I was top tier, yeah, that's disgraceful, that's disgusting. But when I'm bottom tier, and granted I don't need premium shells here, but this is kind of showcases my point. I don't even think about it usually. I think I engage a Borsig here later on, and I do eventually switch to regular shells, but it's kind of like when I'm bottom tier, I have license, I have permission to use my premium shells as much as I want. You know, it's my prerogative if I want to lose money, you know, and I don't aim on losing money just because I'm using premium shells. The reason why I'm loading premium shells is because I want to pen, you know, is because I want to penetrate. As we're pushing up here, we've developed a very, very decent lead, 11-8. All that's left is a Borsig, E50M, and a Chieftain in a platoon. Keep that in mind. So they are dangerous, and artillery, of course. So I'm fully aware of this, and as I push up here, I come across the Borsig. He's on a considerable amount of hit points, but I was very cautious because I wanted the ST1 to creep up with me. But the thing is, I'm fast, he's slow, so, you know, there's that. But right now, I was saying to myself, they're going to be taking out our artillery, and they're going to try and cap our base. That's what's going to happen, you know, because this platoon of two, the heavy and the medium, they were here a minute ago, and there you go. We lose one of our artillery, and in a second we're going to be losing our second artillery, and there goes our second artillery. And that kind of signified to me they're going to be jumping on our base. They're going to be jumping on our base, and I was fully expecting both of those players in the platoon to jump on the base, but only one does. Only one does. It's not a question of who's on there, it's I see what they're up to, you know. That was my thinking. I see what they're up to. One is attempting to cap, and the other one is going to be sniping, you know, as we attempt to break that cap. So chances are it's mostly the Chieftain, and chances are there's an E50 hiding somewhere, lurking in the bushes, and he's going to be sniping at us. But we have no choice, you know. We have to see what's up. Artillery is still in play, but as you can see, he is lit up, which means he's being chased, and we do manage to take out artillery eventually. So artillery right now is not a threat. Sure enough, it is a Chieftain on the base, and right now all I'm thinking about is the E50M. Where is the E50M? He must be lurking in the bushes somewhere. You know, they're in a platoon. They must be working in tandem together, but no shots come in. No shots come in, and I'm It was a very scratch your head kind of situation. They're in a platoon, they should be supporting each other. You know, the chieftain could have been bait, and they could have, you know, easily taken myself out at least. And two of our teammates start to capture the enemy base up in the north, but there's only an E50M left. But the E50M is the E50M, and in the hands of a decent player, you know, the E50M can do wonders with its really decent armor, fantastic gun, etc, etc. And if you take a look at our team, we're spread out like crazy. That is our weakness right here. That is our vulnerability. You know, you might say it's 5 versus 1, but each of us is solo, is alone. You know, that the E50N right now is duking it out with a chieftain T95, and not for much longer. There you go, he takes him out. And if the E50M comes up on my render range, and take a look at his hit points, he has a massive amount of hit points. There's a reason why he has a massive amount of hit points. I don't think it's because he was camping. You know, right now that screamed respect to me. You know, that screamed respect. And look what he's doing. He engaged the chieftain. T95 took it out. Now he's engaging the SU-101. And this is what I'm talking about. He could very, very easily win this game. You know, easily win this game. Because we're so spread out. He doesn't know where we are, but he can kind of figure it out. With the he's in a tier 10 medium tank. Pretty decent armor. Good mobility, fantastic gun. He could easily win this game. And so I know that. I was expecting that he knew that. And all that he was up against was a tier 9 heavy and two tier 8. So, you know, so we're going to have to, like I said in the beginning of the match, we're going to have to pull out something special to, you know, win this game, to get something decent. And right now he's pounding away at our tier 8 TD, the AT-15A, I think it is, just pounding away. And there you go, yeah, AT-15, my bad. And now, you know, all that's left is myself and the SD1. SD1, granted, he's got a buttload of hit points. I'm a 2-shot for the E50M, and I did not know. You know, I was saying to myself, either I can light him up for the SD1. SD1 does not have the most accurate gun, I'm guessing. I don't have an SD1. But I say cap the base. You know, I just didn't know what to do. I say cap the base. If we win, we win. It'll kind of draw him out, or the other option is for us to survive, because there's 2 of us, there's only 1 of him. If we both survive till the end of the game, 2.5 minutes to go, we're good to go, we'll win the game. So we decide, I see what the SD1 is doing, he's going for the cap. Okay, I agree, let's go for the cap. It'll draw him out, it'll flush him out from his cover, but we need to respond accordingly. You know, we need to act quickly if he does pounce on us, because he's got a super highly accurate gun and we're very vulnerable here. You know, we're most really not going to win by cap. There's a minute and a half to go, so he can, unless he's, you know, almost at our cap circle, yeah, we'll win. But I'm guessing he was waiting to pounce, so I parked myself behind the armor of the SD1. I was fully expecting him to show up, you know, on that ridge yonder there. You can see I'm pointing my gun, and let's just wait. Let's just wait. My heart was pounding. 2 versus 1. We're gonna try and get a win somehow, some way. He's taking his time, and I'm lit up. Detected. And here comes a shot. I managed to pen him in return. Got a last premium shot, and now I have become the vulnerable one. I've become 1 shot to the D50M, and if he manages to pen me, he's gonna take me out, and it's gonna turn into a draw. But right now, it's a victory for us. Right now, it's a victory for us. He cannot pull out. There's a house blocking his view. I'm trying to stay alive. I've become the weak link in the chain for my team, for my entire team, because I'm only on 283 hit points, and I'm trying to duck into cover. Can I duck into cover? Quickly, quickly, quickly. I shoot one. I didn't think I was going to pen or anything. It's just kind of out of anger and frustration. And now there's 20 seconds to go. There's 20 seconds to go. He could throw himself round the corner, come up behind me and take me out, and give his team a draw. But is he gonna do that? Is he gonna do that? No, he's not. And we're good to go. No, he's resided in the fact that he's lost the game. You know, the skill has outplayed him. the skill, ladies. I told you we're gonna just this game kind of threw everything at me. The kitchen sink, the bathroom kitchen sink, the kitchen sink, everything. It just threw everything at me, and I was like, yeah, come on, bring it. No problem. This is the reason why we play World of Tanks, for games such as this. That kind of tests your, to the limit. It kind of takes you to the limit, to the edge, and there and back again, and you get a decent result. You're rewarded, with some decent damage, 3k damage, decent XP, top of the leaderboard, and some really good silver. But kudos to the E50M. He was a good player. 5 kills, 7k damage. But what can I say, buddy? You weren't good enough against my Patton career. Take it easy, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I love these kind of games. Take it easy, guys. Adios muchachos. Please drop a like and all of that jazz. Subscribe if you're new. Adios muchachos. See you in the battlefield.